Mark, I'm right behind you.
Okay, take a glug of the beer and open the door.
You open the door. Here's what you see before you. It's roughly a 50 by 50 square. Almost directly opposite you on the south wall is the big front door with the long runner rug in front of it. To your immediate left at the east end of the room is another corridor running east. The lights are on in here, mostly lamps. You see that there is a fireplace set in the far west wall. It has just a hint of coals burning in the bottom of it. You see a large glass-doored curiosity cabinet, something that Banny saw part of when he peeked through the mail slot. Mail slot's got about 6 envelopes sitting on the rug beneath it. There is a glass-doored weapon cabinet, a lot of bookshelves, some wooden file cabinets, a large desk with a nameplate that says duty officer sitting on it, next to 2 phones, a Rolodex, a pen cup, and an open logbook of some kind. The walls in here are painted a warm ochre color. There are framed photos covering the walls. There are warm lamps, candles that are unlit in different places, what looks like a liquor cabinet and a humidor, and curled up in a comfortable looking chair is a fat calico house cat.
Like unmoved?
Looking at you, its tails doing that. Up here, it's quiet. The only sound is a ticking clock on the mantle. It smells of pipe, tobacco, leather.
And
The
less
appointments here are comfortable, warm.
less gas now. This is the man smell.
Yeah, the gas
Hemingway.
smell is clearing out.
Check out the logbook.
Mark goes to the logbook. What are you doing, Jojo?
I'm just going to keep an eye on everything. Just
Okay.
kind of giving an overview, making sure we don't get surprised as we start investigating.
Do a perception.
Where did my D20 go?
Never trust the cat.
Well, I was gonna.
23.
I'll deal with the cat.
23. You are kind of standing overwatch, forcing yourself not to get drawn to the freakiest shit you see in this curiosity cabinet. You're really trying to hold focus. Blanca, what are you doing?
I move close enough to the cat that I can. I'm probably close enough from where I'm at, but I will kind of come here, kitty, kitty, and I will cast a charm on the cat.
You cast a charm on the cat. What kind of charm is that? Is that charm animal?
No,
Or is it charm person?
It's a creature.
it's charm. I don't think it designates. Let's double check it.
Sorry, I
One
may
creature.
It might
going
have-
old school.
It might have an intelligence requirement.
Charm. It's just charm. To the target, your words are honey, and your visage seems bathed in dreamy haze. Must make a will save to attempt to. Let's see. No threat.
Do you speak feline?
I'm giving it. So visage. I'm trying to be friendly in summoning. So it's kind of like, come here, kitty, 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 kitty.
You say, here, kitty, 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 kitty. It jumps down, walks over to you, and does the figure 8 rubbing of the legs.
Pick it up if it will let me.
Oh, you pick it up. It lets you, and it just begins to purr immediately.
Detect magic. Detect magic.
Don't you have one of those already?
Nope, no magic.
Okay. Regular house cat, everyone.
Well fed.
Well fed.
well
fed.
cared for.
Garfield here.
I'll keep the cat close to me while the others inspect the room.
What's in the logbook?
I'm going to go through and take pictures of the cabinets, the appointments.
So we're going to start with Marek at the logbook. It looks like they start a new one every month. And I'm just going to go down the entries if that's what you'd.
Yeah, I'm looking most recent going backwards.
Oh, you want to go most recent backwards?
Yeah.
Most recent is August 14th. That was
Is
yesterday.
what it's okay.
August 14, D. Highbury. Grace has not returned. Mr. Brand departs briefly to send telegram. In evening, rescue mission launched. Brand and Hudson, Conrad, Elijah, and Lucas. Liza sent for Goat. Late tonight, Grace returns alone. Acting strange, no explanations, locked herself in room. Marcus and I are worried.
Shit.
That's the last entry, and that was yesterday.
This is probably all you maybe need to see. Repeats it, reads it out loud. What's the one before that?
The one before it, August 13th, D. Highbury again. And you get the idea that that's the duty officer. Mr. Hudson reports strong smell of ammonia beyond WC door, chilling cold. Grace Hornsby defies orders, goes through door geared up for investigation. Elijah sees her, cannot stop her. Group meeting. She does not return.
Going back in time.
August 12, L straight. Cellar WC gone. Door opens to black, cold space. Light doesn't penetrate. Mr. Hudson and Mr. Brand declare it off limits until further notice. Rotating watch posted on door. Day before that was August 11. M. Dowell. Report of haunting at abandoned Zurich orphanage. Conrad, Lucas, and Grace sent to investigate. Footsteps in vacant apartment above us. Mr. Brand investigated. No findings. 3 calls with immediate hang-ups. Investigators return late from orphanage. No findings.
So there's no scanning then. Like there's nothing where it's like the door just appeared, or they created the door.
That was
You're working backwards, so
Right. Work my way backwards to find anything about the black portal doorway of death.
August.
I mean, ammonia smell started on August 13th.
Right. August 12th, they said cellar WC gone.
Gone.
Door opens to black, cold space.
Okay.
Are you still working back?
I will.
August 10th, C. Smythe. No calls. Package arrives. Calderari Wolfsbane necklace. Call for Mr. Brand. And then in quotes, call Inspector Downing. August 9th, L. Black. Package left at door. Dead black rabbit. Mr. Hudson and Mr. Brand took it away. Had private meeting. Caster suppression neck shackle, and then in parentheses from Knock Richter, requested for examination. Letter received, claim of possession in Colne. Lucas uses spectrofilm, says captured Hasturian in Paris Cabaret. Image lost during development. August 8, E. Warren. Report from Paris contact. Rincani sighted in gardens of Versailles. No photo. Package delivered. Bag of finger bones from Volga. August 7th, D. Highbury. No calls. Liza passed anatomy exam. Yay. Mr. Hudson locked in quarters not to be disturbed. Grace and Conrad return. No evidence. August 6, L. Straight. Mr. Brand on bed rest, tea, and steam. Grace and Conrad leave for Genf. Report of dead husband in backyard wife's house. Anonymous call about Lake Lucerne monster. Few details. August 5th, L. Black. Unknown caller looking to purchase Greek fire. Lied and told him we don't have any. Call from Intelligence Ministry for Mr. Hudson. Marcus burned dinner again. Should not be permitted in kitchen. August 4th, G. Hornsby. Mr. Brand off to doctor appointment. Small explosion in lab. Mr. Hudson unhurt. Elijah off to purchase lab equipment. Photos of Obelisk Phantom developed, determined to be faked. August 3rd, C. Smythe, no calls. The man with umbrella seen watching from across street again. Douglas and Marcus investigated. Man vanished. August 2nd, M. Dowell.
After I read that, I'm going to scan upwards for Man in Black because it said spotted again.
Yep, there's only 2 other entries, and you don't see him noted in either one.
If there's only 2 others, what are they?
August 2, M. Dowell. Called to observe exorcism. Mr. Hudson sent Grace, Lucas, and Douglas. Verified as fraud. Inspector Downing notified. Conrad returns from Silversmith with box of Toro rounds. August 1, E. Warren. Mr. Brand returns from Strasbourg with head cold. Paid grocer's delivery boy 32 lira. Phone message for Mr. Hudson. Call Linus.
Call
Linus.
Linus.
Okay.
I'll pocket it.
So you've got roughly 2 weeks of entries that go right up until last night.
But
that means that the Man in the Black was seen before August. If I'm understanding him being seen before.
Yeah, the Man in Black was seen August 3rd. The man with umbrella.
But that was a referral to, it said he was seen again. Again.
He's been here more than 10 days, probably double or triple that. He's very disoriented for someone who's been here that long.
He doesn't know where he is.
Blanca, what have you been doing while he's reading?
Curiosity cabinet.
You go to the curiosity cabinet. A lot of the items have little cards on propped up next to them, little tinted cards with typewriter printing on them. There's a curved dagger with a jeweled hilt, Istanbul, 1902. There's a stuffed 2-headed spider monkey, Indochina, 1912. Human skull with fangs, Carpathian Mountains, 1855. Yellow King medallion, Clovia, 1935. You've all seen that.
yeah.
It looks identical to the ones you recovered on that Clovian airbase.
I point at Blockhead. Is that real? Is that the thing? Well, I was taking pictures. I was also taking pictures through that. But does it show up as magic?
The dagger glows. The medallion glows. And I'll let you know as you continue along. There is a brank from Salem, 1697. Y'all know what a brank is?
No.
A brank was a medieval device that our lovely Puritan forebears brought over from England. It attaches around a woman's head and shoves a barbed piece of metal into her mouth so that if she attempts to speak, scream, swallow, it cuts into the tongue. It's opened by a key, and the Puritan judges would assign it to women who were accused of scolding their husbands in public.
A judge from Salem.
Yes, indeed. There was a brank in that story. It is not magical. There's a fat black candle. The card says Paris Catacombs 1315. It glows. There is a golden coffer with Egyptian hieroglyphics on it. The card says Hand of Memphis, Cairo, 2181 BC. It glows. There is a large cavalry pistol, the equivalent of a Toro, with 4 silver bullets standing next to it. The card reads San Juan Hill, 1898. It and the bullets glow. There's a photo of Rasputin and a pregnant Tsarina Romanov standing next to each other with their arms around one another. The card says Mokba 1917. There is a black box connected to a cable and a foot pedal. It says Ghost Generator, Vienna 1818. There's a photo of Tarantula Boy from Toronto, Lupania, 1921. This kid has the mandibles and the multiple eyes of a tarantula on a teenage boy's body. There's a
Is his name Jack?
squid-like. What's that?
Is his name Jack?
There's a squid-like thing in what you assume is formaldehyde, and the card says Shoggoth Tadpole, Netherlands, 1930. A rag doll made with real human teeth, Cape Town, 1870. And a black jewel, Star of Oblivion, Macedonia, 168 BC. It's the size of a silver dollar and it glows.
This is, dare I say, irresponsible? I mean, there's plenty of wards on this place, but this is terrifying.
Mark, I neglected to tell you that also on that table was a Rolodex, a donut sitting on a linen napkin, missing a bite out of it, and a cigarette that was nothing but an entire tube of ash.
Is the chair thrown back or anything?
No.
I mean, like whoever it was here was just like.
Looks like somebody pushed away in it, but
Right.
didn't push it back in. It's not flipped over.
Took a bite and then ran or something.
Or came to somebody else's aid since it wasn't. We should check the rest of the house. We took pictures of everything in here at this point, correct?
The only other things you did not look at were there's file cabinets, there's the armory case, there's the bookcase, and then the photographs on the walls.
Check the armory case, someone.
Armory case. It is. It's got glass doors to it, leaded glass. Looks like a simple, old-fashioned key lock in it. It's not built for security. You see that it has a few open, empty slots, but you also see that it contains shotguns, a lever-action rifle, a few revolvers, what looks like a silver dagger, a couple of sabers, a large coil of copper wire, and open top boxes of silver and what look like might be cold iron bullets.
Let's I want those.
Benny, before you withdraw from the Bank of Fun, will you check and see how recently this has been tampered with, if at all?
I will take a look to see if there's any recent movement or dust trails or anything along those lines. That's an 18. It's not awesome.
Yeah. If somebody opened it within the last week or so, you really wouldn't be able to tell.
Outside of the empty slots, I don't know what to say. I can't tell. If I tug on it, does it rattle? Or does it open?
It opens immediately.
Okay. I am going to grab the box of cold iron.
Yep.
And just empty my bighorn on the floor and then start loading it. If it's high caliber, if it's
It is high caliber.
Okay.
Both of them, the silver and the cold iron. Jojo, while you're standing there focusing on the room, your eyes are constantly drawn back to a pair of framed pieces on one wall. One of it is a photograph of a very old gentleman. He's got white hair swept back, necktie, mustache, and beard. Collar is tight up against his neck. He's almost got kind of a Frederick Douglass era type of feel to him. And underneath him is a quote that looks like it's attributed to a gentleman named Silas Brand. Next to it is a pencil sketch of a beautiful 4-story freestanding building that looks a little bit like Independence Hall.
Okay. Do I recall Silas Brand? That was...
We have a Mr. Brand on our list of people in the building.
But not a Silas. That's a
No,
Victor
Silas
Brand.
Brand
was one of the
was
originals.
Yeah,
where-
he was the original Franklin Institute founder in 1840.
Right.
And
Does it,
you can read his quote from where you're standing.
Yeah.
It
I'll read
says,
it.
"The offspring are drawn to sorrow, madness, and forgotten places, and the end of their stories are always written in blood."
Have a good one, grandchildren.
Jerry,
Yeah. Yeah, this guy's a
who
piece of
wants to go to
work.
Grandpa's house?
Wow.
Now that's Alemania.
Blanca, what are you up to?
I set the cat down and move over towards the front door. If there's a window in the door, I'll look at that. If not, I'll go to the front facing windows.
You can get to the front facing windows. There's no window in the door unless you were to peek through the mail slot.
That's too small. I'll look out through the doors towards the alley. Is the man with the umbrella out there visible?
So you're looking out one of the windows facing the front.
Yep.
Of the building.
Yep.
Yeah, he's right across the street, standing there with his umbrella.
Okay. Gentlemen, are we done in here?
I don't know. I want to really find July. I mean, this door just appeared, but they didn't seem. I mean, the entry didn't seem to be that horribly.
Did you check those filing cabinets behind you?
Yeah.
Let me do that. Scour through those for journals, looking for a journal for July.
You look through. You find monthly journals going back at least 15 years every month. Always a duty officer. In the earlier days, it was either Hudson or Brand. It looks like their organization expanded over the years, but they did their own investigations. They did their own duty officer work. The file cabinets are absolutely packed with investigations, personnel files. There is a heading called deceased, and that's pretty significant. And as you look through it, it looks like ERS people, investigators. There's a lot more than there are active files. Active personnel files, it looks like there's maybe 8. And then you come across a tab that says Nachrichter.
Definitely.
As you look through, you find your personnel files, or at least similar personnel files, complete with covert photos of all of you, paper clipped to the files.
I'm bagging them.
Bagging them up. You also find a tab that says Echelon.
Oh,
I'm bagging them.
Let's
This
have a look
file's
before
on
you back
us.
those up.
What'd you say?
Let's have a look before you bag those up.
You're pulling them open, and they have photographs. Most of the photographs have a red deceased stamped at an angle across the picture. You see the Count, you see Nightshade, you see the Norman, you see the crew that you took down in Icenius Sud. That's how current it is.
Oh,
You
we had
find active files for the Hammer. They're not very detailed. Their sightings, their suspected places that they've been. Um, Mostly the notes look like they're keeping track of any time an echelon agent was in the vicinity of some kind of paranormal activity. You could probably spend weeks looking through these files and not reach the end of it.
Just bag
If
them.
you're looking for July's ledger, it's there. All 31 days. And
Looking backwards for regarding the first entry for the black man or something about the black. You get my keyword.
first
The black portal that opened.
was July 27th was the first time that they saw him. Looks like he's only appeared twice before today.
Did they investigate him at all? Say anything about him?
No, they went to talk to him both times, and both times he was gone by the time they got there.
Can you back those up into a sea chunk or something around here? Any kind of large container? Take all that paperwork and let's put it into one large container.
Why don't we just take it
I'm
and
just
put it
putting my
inside
bag.
of the cabinet itself?
There's
I
also
can't.
plenty of empty luggage here.
It's true.
Well, there's
but
that too.
I think I
For
know
now,
what
I'm putting it
Blanca's
in my
going
bag. For now, I'm just
I
putting it in my
want, I want
bag.
to shrink this stuff up so that it's easily transportable and only accessible to those who know how.
So if we put everything back in the cabinet, will the cabinet be
Work.
big enough or small enough to contain everything? Or can you do the
Is
thing?
it smaller than 20 cubic feet?
So there's 3 file cabinets. They would be small, all 3 of them together, but you can only do one. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You could get probably a third of it if you want the one that has your files, Echelon's files. You could certainly pull out old investigations or old
Right.
ledgers and put in the pertinent stuff.
I'll get to work on that if you tell me.
Pull the drawers for Echelon, Noctrichter, and their log journals and put them in one case, and I'll shrink that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most
Do we
recent.
need documents on ourselves?
I'm just curious what they're tracking. It's
Okay.
vanity.
Well, not
That's
just that. I
valid.
mean,
There's nothing
when
wrong
we
with that.
leave, we don't know
I
what's.
don't.
I mean, if they're all dead, I mean, what if someone else gets a hold of this?
Right.
We should sweep the whole building for life. That, I mean, like, we're here.
Danny and Blanca, roll a perception, please.
Tequila.
Come on.
Otini.
Utini. Suddenly, you turn into a Jawa.
33. 33.
33. How'd you
Yeah.
do, Blanca?
16.
You fell over yourself. Blanca doesn't notice it, but while you're moving around the room, there's a couple of things that catch your eye, Banny. Without intending to look at it, you catch it out of the corner of your eye. The photograph wall that they have looks like the stuff they pursue or investigate photographed in the wild. But there's 2 things that are next to each other that catch your eye and make you stop. One of them has a little card in the corner that says Countess, and it is without a doubt a photograph of Lady Bathory climbing out of an automobile with the city of Praha behind her.
I look at the date.
There is no date. Next to it is a grainy photograph of what is no doubt a demon wearing a top hat And that little card says Jack Sweet.
Listen,
I point at this and say, hey guys, take a look at these. I'm gonna step back and take pictures of the whole arrangement.
There's not a. Are you taking individuals?
I stop and I take a picture.
Because you know you can't like pinch and expand.
Yeah, it's true. I'm gonna pull those particular, or I'm gonna pull the Jack Sweet one, but
Okay.
I'm really hoping that this Lady Bathory one happened before. But I'm gonna pull that out and I'm gonna hand it over to Blanca.
put it in the file cabinet.
Most of the other stuff looks along the same lines as the kid lifting the cow.
Yeah.
There's some mystics levitating, allegedly a soul leaving a body, a grainy spirit, supposedly from Edinburgh, a snake charmer, a very grainy werewolf that could also be a bear or maybe even a deer.
I'm gonna pull all those down as I go through it, and I'm just gonna stack.
Exorcism of a child thrashing on a bed with a twisted up demon's face. A hooded lich face in a high window with a tag that says Versailles. Strange lights in the sky that says Mokba orbs. So it's National Enquirer stuff.
Yeah,
It's Ripley's Believe It or
beautiful.
Not.
I'm gonna take those and I'm gonna stick them on top of the logbooks inside of one of those or in the cabinet that they're going to shrink.
Are you going to take them out of your frames? They'll take less space.
Pull them out of the frames.
Okay.
Yeah.
A question, John. We've been around spectrolitho development long enough. Does a photograph finished from a spectrolitho bath smell different than a regular photograph?
You know, I would say that it absolutely does, but I'll throw it back to you too. I would say that it would have to be within 72 hours of its bath for you to be able to smell the chemicals on the photo.
Okay.
Unless you're a dog.
Unless you're a dog.
We have one of those in our camp. We should have brought her.
Smell this.
Come on, girl.
Now
Come
go
on.
get him.
Does this
Go
smell
get
the
him.
same?
You know, we stare at what they've done here a little bemused, but I'm sure there's stuff that we don't even know about.
I mean,
Octrictor that equals this or exceeds it by a lot.
but it's impressive. I mean, these guys were just investigators, and they like survived at least to this point.
Well, this
that-
is kind of a public attorney's office version of the Talamasca, as far as I can tell.
Well, look at the list of deceased for this group alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes back all the way to 1901, and it looks like in 1901 there was a bit of a run on investigators, and then periodically through the years there will be long periods of no problem, and then onesie twosies, and then a whole batch.
Well,
Did you see anything on our vampire friend in Genf?
Bella DeVore?
Yeah. Did they track and monitor her? Anything?
I don't know.
It would take you a week at least to categorize and look for specific information.
Yeah, no time.
Their filing system is set up on some kind of weird mathematical equation.
Of course it is, because that was my weakest subject.
Yeah, let's pack this away and gosh.
We're going to shrink it.
I think we should move upstairs. We should find everybody's residence. We need to take account of everybody at this point.
Shrink the cabinet. Tuck it into my sock.
This is
That's uncomfortable.
the file cabinet. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's just a key.
The cat is still rubbing on your legs.
Let the cat stay close.
It does. It seems to like you.
You said it was a tabby?
Calico.
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 Mm.
Much better. Wants food. And ate well before that.
Always wants food then. Always wants food. I pull out the big horn and say, shall we? Let's go upstairs. Is there an upstairs? Did somebody see stairs going up?
You got a
have
hallway.
You have a hallway.
Let's go down the hallway.
Let me.
The hallway is identical to the one in the basement. 2 doors to the south, 1 at the far end, and 1 to the north.
You know what? I'm just gonna whistle to see if anybody answers. I blow a really loud whistle and just say, if you're friendly, come on out. If you're not, we'll do the same.
Holding the bighorn like that. If you're friendly, come on in.
Has it been an hour while we search this room, John?
Oh, yeah.
Good. I need a hit point.
More diminishes a little bit more.
I used to be more, but now I'm less.
More. Wait there for a couple of minutes, and when nobody shows up, we start just going through. Take the leftmost and just work our way around.
Okay.
So you've got 2 doors to the south, 1 at the far end, and 1 to the north.
Start with the 2 doors.
Okay. The first one is a neat and tidy man's bedroom. There's really nothing out of the ordinary. There's quite a few books in here. So you get the idea that it's possible that the chemist from the basement has his quarters here. The unpleasant part is that he has used chalk or even black markers to cover the walls in different equations and notes, and looks like a madman lives here. Those of you who've been around Felix long enough know that this is just the way they are.
Those people. I gotta take pictures of the walls.
Okay. The second room on the south is also another bedroom, another man. It looks pretty generic, nothing too exciting going on in here, but you do find a lot of newspapers. You find some framed newspaper articles and photographs, all with the same byline. That
Edgar?
is
Edgar Holtz?
You're talking
Lucas
about
Black.
paparazzi?
Lucas Black looks like is the photographer and the author of assorted news stories. Most of it looks like it's a crime beat.
Just on the open media, nothing to do with the 8 active agents.
With the what?
The 8 active agents.
No. This is all just Zurich crime and events going on in the city.
It's a lot like what Edgar does, though. It sounds like he's got the supernatural beat.
Yeah. So he's probably monitoring unruly things. It might be worthwhile gathering this up and pocketing it. Mark, are you our gatherer?
Yeah, that's no problem. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about to myself, like if they were trying to help her, then or stop her, I don't think we'll find them upstairs anywhere. I think we would only find them in a place we don't want to go. Stuff in his bag.
Yeah.
About this time, you all hear the tinkle of a bell coming back from the direction of the front room, followed by the unmistakable sound of
Oh
and
boy.
you hear the front door open
Uh,
and then slam shut. Boom! And a woman's voice. I'm here. Who wants to help me with this goat?
uh,
Let me
okay.
sign language to Banny. Get in the hallway with the rifle. Cover me. I will go introduce myself.
I,
Everybody else, tell them what to do.
they know Knock Richter.
Pull the cat up off the floor and go back into the parlor.
Walking in like a James Bond villain. Welcome
Go
back.
into the parlor. You see that the woman has made it not too far into the front parlor. She is trying to juggle keys, a brown shopping bag, a coat thrown over, like a rain jacket thrown over one arm, an umbrella hooked over the other wrist, and a goat. She looks to be in her mid-20s. She has round glasses, and she is wearing what looks like a white doctor's jacket. She sees you and is quite surprised, almost drops the goat. Oh, heavens.
You know me?
Who are you?
Do you know me?
Why would I know you?
Point to the missing file cabinet. Do you know me?
Should I know you? Can I put this goat down?
I'm gonna move up behind Blanca.
Oh,
with the
that
rifle.
scares her even more, you and your rifle.
I've got it
Now
pointed
she
low.
hugs the goat tighter and like starts edging back to the front door.
Is it Liza?
How do you know me? I
You
am
are
Liza. Liza Street.
I'm gonna holster the rifle.
Blanca Bess. Does that mean anything to you? I'm with
Are you a friend of Mr. Brands or Mr. Hudson's?
I'm with Knock Richter. We are with Knock Richter.
Do you all four of you show yourself?
Motion for everybody to come forward.
Come on
Do
forward.
you know who that is?
I don't know any of you. I've heard of Knock Richter, that Brandon Hudson talk about it on occasion, and that's where he was sending the telegram.
Are you also known as Doc?
I am. How do you know so much about me?
We've had a few minutes here in the house to get acquainted.
Can I please put this goat down?
I'll take the goat. I'll take the goat.
She hands off the goat, drops the shopping bag, drops her coat over a chair, the umbrella.
My guess
Relieved.
is you're late with the goat. The spell or incantation or ceremony that you were ready to perform may not be too late, but it's too late for your friends.
Too late. What do you mean?
The only person we've encountered in the house is Ms. Help me out, guys.
Grace.
Grace Hornsby.
Grace Hornsby.
Grace, yes. She's one
Not
of the
Grace.
investigators.
Not
She's-
Grace.
She was afflicted in a way that she couldn't be saved.
She came back.
Yes.
She went through the gateway after it opened without permission.
Well, she
And
seemed
then
to. Yeah.
Brandon Hudson put together a rescue group and sent me for the goat, but it was late when I got the goat, so I stayed the night at my mother's. What do you mean it's too late?
We've seen no signs of anybody but Grace, and Grace was not in a state where we could save her from herself.
We found the remains of Marcus as well.
That must have. When did she come back? It must have been after the gentleman went after her.
Well, it appears, well,
August
went
15th.
back to her room, and somebody went in after her, and that was the last they saw of her.
It took
Oh, this is terrible. So Grace is dead,
Grace,
and
Marcus.
Marcus.
We don't know where everybody else is. We were just investigating the rest of the house. Maybe you can show us around. Is there a floor above us that we should know about?
Those are apartments. You reach them from the next door down the block, but Mr. Brand owns that apartment. He keeps it empty because it's right above us, and he arranged for it to be warded.
Was it warded? It is warded now?
The upper floors and the lower floors are warded from what I can remember my detections.
Okay.
Everything's Christmas tree. I mean, sorry, Yule tree.
Yule tree.
Yeah, the man with the umbrella. Are you familiar with who that is?
No.
Point
Maybe-
past her out the street.
Maybe Vanny's right. Give us a tour of the rest of the house, and then we will show you what we have learned and keep you safe.
So she's only too happy to show you the other bedrooms. She shows you, you've already seen Mr. Hudson's room. She shows you Mr. Brand's room, which is less administrative and more high-level mathematics. He has the same bad habits as the alchemist. He writes shit on the walls of his
So on
bedroom.
the main floor.
On the main floor, yep. There is no floor above except for an
empty
apartment reached elsewhere.
Does the layout match the basement?
It does. The only thing that you're missing, and she takes you to the greenhouse, which matches the cellar,
Okay.
but you have to get there from outside the kitchen.
Yep.
And when she takes you into the greenhouse, it's a very comfortable location. There's some benches, there's some nice flower beds, and she tells you that the area is clearly labeled, and it's broken into herbs, exotics, poisonous, and vegetables.
Poisonous right next to vegetables, huh? It's
Oh, absolutely.
pick one, get the
To
other.
each gardener their own.
And the place looks like it's very well cared for, probably by the alchemist.
Mr.
If you
Hudson.
tell her what you've seen downstairs, she tells you you've seen the entire place. She says, "Did you see the door? The
yeah.
door?
And the tentacle.
What tentacle?
Oh, that's new.
Creeping out of the darkness is a single tentacle. It can reach the length of the room, but doesn't seem to be aware of passage.
How horrible!" And that's where the men went.
That's
The
where the
rescue
men
mission,
went.
they went through the door. They all geared up and armed themselves. Even Mr. Brand, with his heart condition, he went with them. He said that he felt responsible. They all went to look for Grace.
They all
But you
went
said Grace
yesterday.
came back.
Do you know what a portal is?
I've heard them talking about it. I'm a med school student, and Hudson and Brand are paying for my education so that I can contribute more to the organization. But I'm not an investigator. I do errands for them, and they insist that I focus on my studies. I'm very close.
Yeah.
Do you have a place to stay nearby? You spent the night somewhere.
My mother's home is only about 6 blocks away.
I think it's our
I don't
intention
live
to
here.
find out what happened to your friends. That might potentially risk this entire location. So if you don't feel safe dealing with extra dimensional creatures or the preternatural, I would recommend you find someplace else to spend your time for a
Well,
while.
I will wait here while you go get them.
Oh my God. Okay. Family
Houston,
conference.
I promise not to leave.
You said you got some medical skills.
I do.
We
I
might,
work as an intern at the hospital.
we might have use for that.
Let's go downstairs. Let's talk. Yeah. Let's talk near the witch's cabinet. Do you know what that is?
Only Mr. Hudson and Mr. Brand go in there. They
Go-
say
go
that's
in?
where the book is kept. They're the only ones that can go that can go in there. They both have keys.
Check their rooms for a key that might match that. I don't want to have to break in.
You find a small silver key on a silver chain in Mr. Hudson's top drawer.
Take that down and bring her with us. Liza, we're going to open the witch desk or witch wardrobe or whatever the hell it is.
It's a witch wardrobe?
What's in the safe? No, not the safe.
Not the safe. This is that.
This is the devil wardrobe.
The big devil witch.
Oh
cabinet.
yeah, in the cellar.
I've never seen what's in there. She looks curious.
Let her follow. Anybody have recommendations otherwise?
Pull out my gun.
Why don't you stand back, Blanca, and give me that key?
I take a step to the side.
Yeah, let's not all stand right in front of this thing when I open it as well.
I'm gonna be right.
I'll stand to the side.
I have a feeling that whatever would come would be a delayed something, but let's give it a go.
That's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
His deep instincts.
Go with that.
He delves deeply into the arcana, and his instincts are probably right.
Good enough for me. I go and put the key in the lock.
It's like a Samsonite tourister lock. Could pick it with a paper clip.
I could have just broke that, but okay.
Click.
Undo it from the clasp, and are we ready?
Yep.
From around the pillar.
And I open it.
You open it. You all hear the hiss as you open the door.
And Raiders of the Lost Ark music.
Kind of like a grayish white mist kind of creeps and seeps over the edge of it as the door is opened. And you see that there's a pair of burning candles inside the cabinet on either side. Don't look like there's any wax melting on them. They are black. Sitting in between them is a book probably about 2 feet high, 18 inches wide, 6 inches thick. And the leather binding and cover looks like it's been stitched together out of what is unmistakably human skin.
Not touching it.
And there is
Delightful.
a single word burned into that flesh.
Starts with an N.
It does start with an N.
I step away. Blanca, take a look.
This is the most egregious thing, according to the Accords, that we've ever encountered.
Yeah, it's the Necronomicon.
It's the Necronomicon.
Classic
Now-
Verada.
You know that in addition to some particularly nasty spells, it also can teach you something that I'll tell you about in just a minute as soon as I find it. In addition to some really nasty black magic, it can also teach on how to open and close portals, enslave witches, and summon demons. It also has several chapters on how to identify witches. And that's some pretty medieval shit they've got going on there. Like poke a mole with a needle, and if it doesn't bleed, she's a witch.
She's a witch.
Ooh. It's a tumor. Oh.
If she doesn't float on the water.
That is absolutely in there. If you submerge her and she floats, she's a witch.
She's a
and
witch.
if she drowns, she's not.
She was innocent that whole time. We just had to
If
prove
you-
it.
if you place the witch on a grain scale and she is heavier than a bag of feathers,
It's quite the
it
bag of
goes
feathers.
on and on.
So Necronomicon doesn't seem to be that reliable as a source.
Look, they're very heavy feathers. Never mind.
Oh, through this description, I'm imagining I'm turning the pages to learn this.
No, these are things that you've heard about it. You have not cracked that cover.
I just want to make sure I hadn't been volunteered to open the book.
You're certainly welcome to open the
Oh
book
no,
if
there's
you wish.
nothing in here that I need to add to my spell book.
I mean, they did. What could possibly happen?
Well, a portal to the Hells,
You know,
or the throne room of the Yellow King.
when you gaze into the abyss, doesn't it,
Yeah.
gaze
That-
back into you?
It sends you flowers.
It sends you flowers.
There's
Yellow
probably a
flowers.
reason that this elaborate case has been built around this. It's to protect us from actually opening it.
No.
But it has Samsonite lock on it.
It's a container, absolutely, and this should not be here. I actually step back and take a picture.
Take my picture with it.
Roll a percentage.
The Necronomicon eats your camera.
Okay, percentage. 51%.
Remind me of that picture if and when you ever get to develop that film.
Oh boy.
If
If and when.
Hey, Bunny.
Yeah.
Do you have three cartridges of each cold iron and silver you can spare me?
The cold. Do you? It's high caliber. It's still in the front room if you want it. I didn't pick up any silver. I only picked up cold iron.
Okay.
I didn't actually grab extra, and I probably should have, but I left the boxes in there.
Well, when we make it back upstairs, I'll grab some.
Okay.
Team, just I want to kind of wrap our heads around where we're at and what our mission is. We were sent here to discover what happened to the team. And I guess beyond that, I mean, we know what happened to them. We don't know where they went per se exactly.
We know they went through the portal to find Grace. And only Grace came back. I
So
assume.
do we feel like it's on mission to go after them?
We've been there before. I'm not
I
saying
haven't
that,
been there before.
Marek, you would fit perfectly. Clubbing women. I mean, never mind. I can't say that it's an easy way in and an easy way out, but I feel like we need to see what's on the other side of that.
So Pestilence wants to go home, and his home is probably through that door. What does that mean in the overall picture? I don't know how to accommodate him or deny him.
Well,
You
he
deny
is
him
denied.
by cutting a goat's throat into that bowl and lighting the candle and saying some words and then smearing it over the portal.
Close it up.
Close it up.
Say goodbye to our friends and prevent him from returning home.
Friends.
What does that mean to Zurib if he's wandering the streets? If he's going to be a statue forever, he's harmless.
Yeah.
He's been here since before this portal opened.
Just staring at the building.
Think about that for a minute. Maybe he's been here for a very long time and he just sensed the portal open and he appeared and is now lingering here because it is a way home.
Okay.
What if, can we
That
make a
makes
deal
sense.
with him to say, hey,
Oh, he'll make a deal. He offered a contract.
oh, interesting.
Oh.
But will he make a deal to say, you give us our friends and you can go home? Would he accommodate a deal like that? That
His
is,
status as a contractor puts you in a perfect position to sign a contract.
see, it's perfect. I love being bait
1 or 2
on the
days
hook.
ago, they went in after Grace. and they haven't been back. Grace came back.
Grace came back, but ships passing in the night. You've had relationships before like that, right?
Not like that. I might have been scared of Robin, but not like that.
Well, ships passing in the night means that they didn't actually see her as she came out.
Or she did them in.
Or she did them in. And if she did, we took her out very quickly, and I would expect that they fell on different times.
I am not prepared to go in there today if we decide that that's what we're going to do.
Okay, but you brought up another point that's very interesting, which is, do we send Pestilence where he is supposed to go?
I don't like him here.
I don't.
So you return him back to his master where he can be more effective?
I don't think he's part of the mission. Based on what I'm hearing from Jojo, he is outside of the parameters. He's here because he's attracted to the hole that's been left.
That's just speculation, though.
I wholeheartedly feel that there's a kinship of truth there, and I'm going to use that for this mission here forward.
You're too
Be my guest.
This is corn in the water.
You can tell my lies.
He's chumming, and these guys were chumming. He's been visiting for a while because for some reason he's trapped here. I don't think. I've not heard any reports.
They haven't done anything with him. He was. It's almost like they didn't even know what he was.
He's been here for a month. I mean, maybe we could find if there's anything that seems like a lot of people have been disappearing or it's been totally normal.
It seemed like it was totally normal until...
No, I mean outside for the people who live here. I'm just thinking maybe he's harmless. He's trying to get back in. He's trapped.
Oh, it's been a quiet summer. You would have heard about probably supernatural mayhem only an hour away if there had been.
Like deaths or something. I don't know.
So how do you want to do this, Blanca?
Well, I've been mulling over the idea of, my first instinct was to go somewhere and get a hotel and then come back, but I don't want to leave the scene in case something develops.
Yeah, the beds are clear. I'll take the head out of the bottom of that one. Honestly, if we were to step in and step out, tell me what you think about that.
I would want a rope tied around you.
I think the last time we tried that, it didn't work.
Let's try. If we think we know where it goes, the jacket is our way to experiment. That way, we're in control of our return.
That was my question. Is there's speculation that this is a door not to the Middle Welkin, but to the Ember Kingdom, the Yellow Road, whatever?
Yeah, if that's the case, there's no guarantee, but perhaps there's an opportunity to get perspective, right? If we use the jacket to have a glimpse and we don't see the Yellow Road or whatever, or if we do,
the
problem is
I like the idea of using the jacket. I am terrified that Pestilence may have a presence there.
Oh,
and that is scary.
So that he's like partial here, partially there, partially here. Is that
you pointed out his shadow? That was not a natural shadow. I'm hoping that's just a reflection of what we should be seeing and not the reach of his being.
I mean, I'm mostly just letting my imagination run wild on what could be terrible if we use that jacket. That's the worst thing I can think of, is he's sitting on the other side and the wards don't hold on when you're not on the physical anymore, and he's just there hanging out.
I personally think that gives us bargaining chip. If we ran into a portion of Pestilence over there.
One click is 6 seconds, correct?
Yeah. Which would be enough to get back, right? I mean, when you're I don't know how any of this works. I am willing to volunteer, by the way.
The family man is ready to volunteer.
Yeah, we'll be sure to let Oksana know.
There's a phone in the lobby.
Do you want to go say some goodbyes?
Sorry, Benny. I'm just nervous. I don't mean to pick on you.
We have been through this before, at least once before. We've walked through one of these portals before.
Was it a good idea then?
I mean, you came back.
We did come back, and we were mostly whole.
If you had to do it again, would you?
What am I saying? I guess I would.
Of
Verification.
course, it's his next travel journal.
If there
I think we need psych evals and Knock Richter.
So, Banny, from the middle welkin, you can see the prime material as hazy, shady, jittery things because of the time juxtaposition.
Yes.
I think that counts as enough of being able to see me. I want to put a message spell on you. Maybe it will work across dimension. The stipulation I understand is that you must be able to see me. So
Sorry, what spell are you going to put on him?
Message.
Are you going to pay for this call?
I mean, he's...
How many lira does it cost? Long distance? We'll see.
Or one goat?
Do we...
Yeah. Well, the goat's a whole different equation, right?
Now, the problem is they went in, they probably went deep. If they are not immediately on the other side, or I don't see signs of them on the other side, I will come right back.
It's easy to get lost if it is the middle welkin.
Yes, but
I have no idea what happens in the Ember Kingdom. None. 6 seconds.
6 seconds.
Well, before we give that vest to Bonnie, you're gonna have the strongest presence there, Blanca.
Well, that's good or bad. You'll stand out more.
Is that true?
But I mean, who can be more concealed?
It's will save, right?
Yeah, will save.
Who's got the? I assume Blanca has a better will, but I could be wrong.
Right now, it's a 15.
I got a 16.
Oh shoot, I've got a 16 too. Never mind. Proceed.
Continue on your plan.
Back to you, Banny.
We can try the rope. Does anybody have one?
The rope won't do anything if you're using the vest.
Well, the rope, it would be in conjunction with. If I go across the boundaries or the barrier, does the rope immediately go slack, or does it disappear, or does it get pulled all the way in, or what happens? I think we've tried this once before. I don't know exactly what happened.
When an agent, when we saw the man at the airfield, well, anything he had on him went with him. I don't think the rope is going to stay partially behind. It's either go with him or stay behind, one of the two. It's either part of him or it's not.
That would be my guess too, based on what my team has seen. But I haven't directly tested that either.
Let's go down to the hallway in the basement across from the portal, the active portal.
Okay.
Oh, if we're upstairs, I am going to grab 3 of each of those bullets.
Gotcha.
Do you think
Blanca the cat follows you downstairs?
not high caliber, right?
They're all high caliber.
Yeah. All I have is a Ragnar. Okay.
As you gather in the hallway outside the little cubicle before the WC, that's when the cat bristles up, makes a hissing noise, and runs back into the billiard room. Liza has come down with you, and from somewhere she has produced a doctor's bag.
Good. Collect these bodies.
I will let her work on me.
She has combat medicine.
That'll work. She can do treat wounds as well if she's got medicine.
Yep.
Regular old 10-minute type.
Yeah, you can do a 10-minute timer on me. I'm at 42 and I should be at 49.
What's the dice on?
Do a D20. If it's a 20 or higher, then roll 2d8.
17. It is 2d8. You get 7.
Perfect. That's what I needed.
Cool.
John, I want to take 10-15 minutes, retie my hand wraps
Okay.
with three of the silver and 3 of the cold iron with the cartridges
into
poking
your-
up.
Okay.
Just in case we need something like that.
Cool.
This is new, Jojo. I've not seen this before.
It's new here too. It just came to me.
You're wrapping your
Seems
fists in them?
rather brilliant.
I wear hand wraps pretty regularly. So
Created his own silver and iron knuckles.
Bah, bah.
You did
Made a
see
little-
rope in that supply cabinet, by the way.
A what?
You did see rope in that supply cabinet.
That's right. That's right. Go
So
over
you're
to
saying
the-
this is not going to be useful,
But
the rope? It didn't work?
we can try. I can hold on to it, see what happens when I go in there. I would rather
Don't
it
hold
not.
on to it. I mean, I can tie it around your waist and you walk in.
But what
To-
if
to be-
it
to
gets
be
pulled
clear-
one direction?
We're not
To be
going
clear-
through the door. We're going to the middle welkin.
so
So
using the vest to investigate to see what the door looks like from the middle welkin, to see if there's any other creatures hovering around here, if pestilence is
that's-
outside,
And that's
not
Banny,
through the door.
or that's you, Jojo?
That's Bunny.
Okay, so then if anyone else is going to go through the door, does it make sense to put any rope around them?
we're not going. Nobody's going through the door. We're just doing an expedition to the middle welkin and back to look at it.
You guys, you know, I was going to step through the door. I'm glad you clarified.
I got the feeling that's what you were gonna do, so
No.
I wanted to make sure.
I thought he was too. That's why I was going to get the rope on him.
Tilt your head back, Banny, and kneel down.
Are you kidding me? I'm not going to put a rope around my neck. What are you doing?
I've got a little eyedropper.
Oh,
Oh, true. So you can see.
you're not supposed to
Oh, you
use a lot
missed.
of this, right? It's
Oh,
like
Hill.
Roll D20. You get his nose. I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
I get a drop up your nose. It's gonna sting for a while. 2 drops up your nose. Oh my
Oh.
god.
Yeah, you're not supposed to directly ingest this stuff.
It's like snorting Visine.
have you guys ever had those drops that they put in your eyes that you could taste coming through the night?
Oh,
nasal
yeah.
canal?
Yeah, that's fun.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. That's probably what's happening right now. Sorry, Benny.
There's
I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one.
There's a doctor standing
right
next
It's
to
a
you.
behind
doc,
us.
right?
Yes.
What are you doing badly?
Okay, are we doing this?
Bite your tongue. Oh, that wasn't the command.
You were doing this.
Okay, I'm gonna do 1 click. That's 6 seconds. I'm
One
gonna
1,000.
pull out the
2
gun,
1,000.
hold it in one hand.
Don't
Click
bother
one.
with that.
It's the willpower gun, right?
Good luck.
Okay, put it back. Click once, and
I click once. So Banny vanishes. Banny, you are in the gray. You see gray in every direction, but there are 2 things that are not gray. When you look, you see your friends clustered in a hallway as if through a gauzy curtain. You can still make out who they are, but it's not like you've seen it in the past. They're not just shadows. The further away they are from you, the more shadowy they become. There is a shadow cat in the hallway, but that's about it. You know who everybody else is. To their immediate right is a 10 by 10 cube of pure black. Just sitting there.
Take a step to the side, see if I can look beyond it, or is it just a cube of black?
It is an absolute cube of 10 by 10 black, and as you get close to it, it feels cold.
Okay.
Which is the first time you've experienced temperature in the middle welkin.
Oh, I step back and I wait for it to drop. Step back.
For your 6 seconds?
Yeah.
He comes back.
There's nothing. I can't see past it. It's just whatever it is. It's a portal to somewhere else. Just a big old black cube. It's impenetrable. That was really cool, by the way. I haven't been there in a very long time. That smell. Check that out. Was it me?
Welcome, junkie.
It smells like medicine. I start collecting.
Give me more of that ammonia smell.
Come on. Love it.
She's a welcome on it.
I like the tick. Mork is collecting rope.
I shrug out of the jacket and hand it off.
To Jojo?
Hand it off to whoever holds their hand out.
And you didn't see anything out there. You didn't see any thought islands, no parawixia. You didn't see pestilence or anything that looked like him. You were just in a gray sea.
It was
The
empty
thing that brought us
besides you.
here was a telegram that said a door has opened. Not we opened a door. A door has opened.
And they were trying to close it.
What would make the door open here? It wasn't pestilence. He's drawn to it because it's a way home.
I agree with that.
Eliza, does she have...
What's interesting, too, is that August 3rd is the first time that they saw the man with the black umbrella, and it was August 12th when the black cold space, I think it said it opened. I might have to double check that.
So he was here before
Right.
it opened. Why would
So
he
there was a
want-
log entry about the man with the umbrella, July 27th.
Even then, yeah.
Another entry on, what did I say?
August 3rd. Yeah. He was
But
seen
then-
again.
No other mention of him up
And
through
the
the
black
last
cold
entry
space
of
opened
August.
on August 12th, and I
Correct.
don't remember anything.
Liza, what can you tell us about the wards on this building?
Mr. Hudson and Brand, they're not casters. None of us are casters, but they know some people that were able to protect the building, and it's really they told me that it's supposed to protect against angelics and demonics and some other things that I didn't really understand.
How long ago did they put these in place?
They've been here as long as I've been here, but I've only been here 3 years.
Okay. Do they require any maintenance?
None that I've ever seen. I know that the apartment above us, did I tell you that they
It's
own it?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the entire apartment building, I think there's probably not even 6 residents in the entire building.
Do they use any part of the floor above us?
No.
There was a mention of footsteps above, that there was somebody moving around in the upper apartment in the logbooks.
I don't sit as a duty officer very often, and I'm so busy with my studies that I don't go back and look at other entries. I probably should, but there's just so much to learn.
Yeah, it's not.
And a lot of times I'm not even here. I'm at school.
Liza, can you give me something for this?
For the bruise,
Yeah.
she'll do a combat medicine on you.
I could have done that.
What's that worth? I didn't have it written down.
Oh, it's just like healing. Only you're finished in like a combat round.
Yeah.
and you're immune then for 24 hours.
So roll a 20 or get above a 20 and 2d8.
She got a 19. No, I'm sorry. She got a 22.
There you go. Roll 2d8. And then she's immune from it for 24 hours.
7.
Resist.
I want to have a conversation with Pestilence. Who wants to join me?
It doesn't make much sense.
Does it? Does it?
I don't know. Maybe it does.
I was inclined to do the same thing. I'm curious his motivations, but I don't know how much we'll get out of him. I am a little trepidatious to set him off and summon whatever that real thing is behind that fake visage he's got.
I haven't seen anything what you guys are talking about. Thankfully. I'll just believe he's a guy with a bowler hat and a stupid umbrella in broad daylight. Scabs all over his body.
In the
Looking
summer.
like a cadaver. Yeah. Who wants to go with me? Is anybody? Everybody? Anybody?
I think we need to make an agreement that we aren't there to bargain
We're
with
not.
the creature of the Ember Kingdom, though. But
We're
I think we
not-
need to lay some ground rules. I've read your mission reports, Bonnie,
What are you
and I've
talking?
worked with you.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
This is what I want to do. I'm going to tell you exactly what I want to do.
Okay.
I would like to say, would you like a path home, Pestilence?
He'll say yes. We've already asked him that.
Okay. I will grant you a path home if you find me my friends.
Oh, would you like to enter a contract? Is what he'll say.
The contract is fulfilled by him walking through the gate.
Well, you need
You're
to take care of
hoping-
the ward first.
If he
You're
wants a way
hoping you
home,
can outsmart this creature, and
It's-
you're going to outmaneuver
it's not a
this
matter of
contract.
outmaneuver. There are two very simple conditions. He has a path home. How much is that worth to him?
How do you remove the ward?
That's a really good question. We would have to figure out a way to remove a ward on one of the places on this building.
So there's that.
Yeah. And I haven't had a great track record in this house of getting rid of any of the existing magic.
Blanca, you just
That's
need
great.
to buckle up, double down, whatever they say.
None of those things, but I get your meaning.
Well, Blanca, what are your thoughts on Benny's proposal there?
I don't know that we get into a place that benefits us without risking something we don't want to risk in that conversation.
The conversation is done if he can't agree to terms.
Well, to the point you just made, Banny, we can't even bring the barriers down reliably to meet our end of the agreement, and I'm not putting your soul up as leverage.
This is what I think we know. I think that we also know that this Grace went into the portal without permission, was changed into something horrific. The others went in after her, didn't find her, or were killed by her. She came back out. She killed Conrad when he tried to confront her, and Tiki Lee. I'm so sorry, Blanca.
I turn and I look at Eliza, and say, if we shut this portal, they're gone forever. Is this...
You can't do that. You can't do that. Mr. Hudson said he was sending a telegram to friends.
To
This
friends,
is
Friends
us.
to ask for help.
to shut the portal if things go wrong. And they went in without us actually engaging. The problem is...
He didn't say anything about the portal. He knew how to shut it. He was asking for help. He said that there were friends that he could trust.
Well,
Grace came back and she killed whatever the other man was next door to her, and
It's so terrible.
because where they're going changes people. I have
I
been there.
don't know. I don't know anything about it, and neither did Mr. Hudson or Brand.
Oh, why did they charge
Nobody,
in?
because one of ours went in and they went to rescue her. We all protect each other. We all look out for each other.
Grace,
Surely you can
Here's my
understand that.
thoughts. We're here to protect Burgundia, Europa, and the world. Not
If they wanted
save.
policemen, they would have called policemen.
uh,
I think that they were calling a friend. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they were wrong.
you have a phone in this house, correct?
Yes.
It's over there by the desk.
Pull out my knock director card. What?
Who are you calling?
Who do you think?
You're not calling mom.
7, 1.
Okay, so the intent of what Commander Bess said was a portal's been opened. We're trying to deal with it, or whatever
Investigate
else.
and render aid, I believe is what she said.
Investigate and render aid. I want her to define what that means for us, and if they are really,
Right.
are they worth saving? Is this worth? Is this?
You've seen what's going on in this house. You've seen the operation. You've seen the depth of their devotion to what craft we engage in. Yes, we owe them that duty. You're the first one to want to go into these unknown spaces. Don't be the first to deny us the opportunity to serve our comrades, whether we knew about them a day ago or 10 years ago. If it were us on the other side of this thing and they were coming to save us, I would want them to come through and not lock us in.
So are you making a call, Blanca?
Yeah, we're going after them tomorrow, first light.
Okay. So about that, how first light is first light?
If I get 8 hours, I can get to sleep soon enough.
It's probably about 4:30, almost 5 o'clock in the evening right now.
I get a full meal in my belly and a couple of drinks, and I'll get some sleep.
2 people on watch at this doorway at all times.
Liza says, I'm afraid to go,
Go where?
but I will go to help my friends. But Mr. Brand told me I had to stay here and bring the goat.
The goat is precious. The goat needs to stay because the goat is part of how we shut this thing off. So
I'm so frightened. I'm not a soldier or I don't know how to fight.
I personally don't
learning
think
to be a healer.
I don't think it's your job to be here. You are a student. Keep tending the house. Keep tending the books. We're fine.
And the goat.
Liza,
If we don't return,
you are the last line of defense for this portal. If we don't come back, the responsibility falls to you to close the portal. You know about the bowl, the book, and the knife.
Do you think I could do it?
I know you can.
The magic is in the implements. It's not in you. Doesn't
How
need
long
to
do
be.
I wait?
That's the best thing, because the middle Welkin's finicky about time.
You know,
I don't think we're going to the Welkin though through that door. If what Bonnie said is accurate.
Well, and the possibility of us getting back via another route exists. It's not easy.
wow. Talk about
How is
bargains.
that?
There are rituals that can facilitate this.
Quick question. Is one of those rituals on the medallion that's sitting inside of the curio cabinet?
Maybe. It requires 3 people and several hours. I
Wait.
don't know if it works the same way from extra dimensional space.
And one human sacrifice. That's
And
what
one,
we call it.
yeah. Well,
That's right.
There's just
4
one.
went in, 3 came out.
3 came out fat and happy.
That's a backup plan. That's not the plan. We're going in after them when we're ready. Find what you need in the residence here that helps facilitate that. Sounds like they were asking for the collar, which I revile.
I don't think they've got it yet, though.
No,
No.
but they were asking for it for a reason.
Research, they said, but yeah, whatever works.
I help
Do you have time to investigate any of those other items in the cabinets and determine their use?
We've got a few hours before I need to get some sack time.
One quick question on that. The medallion, did it allow us to go through weak spots, or did it allow us to transition into... I remember that it had a nasty essence to it. Whoever touched it seemed to carry the You kept on mentioning a bunny. A very crazy cigar smoking rabbit. But what did the medallion do for you? Did it allow you to move in and out of that space, or did it allow you to unlock certain things? What was it?
My memories are sketchy of that time. I
Oh.
I wasn't my whole self with that
Yeah,
bunny.
the bunny. I just know that there was a
It's not worth whatever transition it's capable of. I promise you.
Well, if it is a gateway out, that would be handy. Or allows us to get out, that would be handy. Even if there is a taint. We all love taints.
I'd be more inclined to try to make a deal with the Parawixia to facilitate our return.
They don't. Do they exist? Oh, they did. There was a Parawixia there, wasn't there?
I don't know how you summon them. We don't have a lantern. We don't have a beacon.
Just
It's a
scream
prayer.
really, really loud. Oh, that's right. It happens all the time in the Ember.
That draws giant carnivorous spiders. Absolutely.
I'm helpless. I'm
someone's
helpless.
in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm loaded up with cold iron. Go get some rest. I mean, what do we need to wait for? The sooner you get settled, the sooner we can do this.
Blanc, are you going to go inspect the curio cabinet before you go to sleep?
Yep. Might as well see what's at our disposal.
You're able to determine that the curved dagger with the jeweled hilt is a +2 weapon versus the undead. The Yellow King medallion defies identification. The brank is normal. The black candle from the Paris catacombs, is a summoning candle.
Ghosts.
You're pretty sure it's diabolical in nature.
Exciting.
The Hand of Memphis is a cursed item, reportedly, that you can will to act as an assassin, and it will unerringly hunt down the one that you want killed. But there is a price to pay for it that's somehow related to your soul.
Huh. One of those.
Again.
The cavalry pistol is a very powerful +3 weapon.
Shit.
The silver bullets are each +1.
Is it a Toro? Sorry.
And you pick up, as you identify it, that it was handcrafted for a man named Theodore to kill Cuban werewolves.
Wow. I'll take that. I will take my Toro, which has no adornments, and I will use that for this situation.
The photo of Rasputin and the Tsarina is not magical, but also not a big surprise.
That guy.
It was long suspected. The ghost generator is not magical. It's just a piece of fraud. Tarantula Boy's picture, the squid-like thing, does not put off any magic. The ragdoll is not magic, and the black jewel, as you examine it, it comes across as a sphere of annihilation.
That's what we chucked through the door and then let her off, right? Oh, wait.
Oh yeah, throw that through the door. What could happen?
Yeah. Yeah. All of the guys going, "Oh, we're getting back from our futile search," and
Just in time.
Watch reality split down the middle. Anything else you wanted to examine before you go to sleep, Blanca?
No, I really need to think about my spell complement for the space beyond.
Liza wants reassurance that she doesn't have to go through the doorway,
No,
she doesn't
no,
have to go through.
you're
but she
staying behind.
assures you she'll stay behind and just tell her how long she should wait before she tries to close the portal behind you.
Again, that was just like, what? Well, time.
Jojo, your team recently transited across. What kind of time dilation did you experience?
We lost a handful of hours, but again, I don't think this is the same. I mean, we keep talking about it being the middle welkin, but it doesn't seem like the middle welkin anymore.
No, I agree with you. I'm just kind of trying to err on the side of caution. If we say 24 hours, is everybody comfortable with that?
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't, unless we can see a good trail when we walk in there that lets us know exactly where they're at, if there aren't bodies immediately spread in front of us or any of that stuff, it should not be too long, but I have no idea.
I suspect the commander will investigate or send another team if we don't report within 24 to 48 hours.
Do you want to make a call then?
Danny, can you just work with Liza to document what we know before we go in, so anybody who follows in our footsteps knows what we've discovered, where everything is, and what we intend to do?
Okay, I will. And
Benny, is there anything I can do? I mean, looks over at Jojo with his, like cool improvised weapons. I mean, I just have a Ragnar and my fists. I thought we were doing investigation. I have a club.
A club. You good with dagger? Dagger of undead? It's something.
It's a simple weapon, but I don't know.
You would be able to apply all of your strength to it. So at least you would have an object that would hit harder.
Mike, when you were talking about the club being a weapon that wouldn't be really useful, you were saying because that wouldn't
you
be
only
like
get
weapons mastery.
you only get your crit specialization and your proficiency to mastery with a specific group of weapons that you have to choose at level 5.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming Mark's still a boxer, he picked brawling.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not in the brawling category,
he's only
you are only an expert, and you don't have crit spec, and possibly even weapon specialization. I'd have to look at that.
The boys are arming up. Blanca, you're getting ready to sleep. Banny, were you going to go try to talk to the man with the umbrella?
I will slip outside if everybody's distracted.
You're on your way to go have that conversation, and that's where we'll leave you tonight.
I hope he's bringing back dinner.
Bringing back what?
Dinner.
He's either bringing it back or he's just plain bringing it.
Or he is dinner.
I am dinner. I am dinner.
Thanks, John.
Guys, that was a lot of fun.
That was a good
Talk
time.
to you soon.
Oh,
Have a good one.
All right, bye.
See ya.
Yeah.